Welcome everyone to round number 3 of September 18th Star Wars Unlimited Locals Night over at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking for a place to play some Star Wars Unlimited, check out Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. Thursday nights, 6 p.m., $5 entry, and you can walk away with your promo pack and a minimum of 1 pack of the current set. At the time of this recording, LOF. So I believe, if I recall, I am undefeated going into this final round of this trilogy format. Again, I recommended this trilogy and I had a lot of fun with it. So I believe both me and my opponent are undefeated. Once again, you know it's me because I'm over here with the Stitch mat. Love this thing. It's everywhere now with me. But anyway, so let's talk about the 3 trilogy decks we got on both sides of the board. We got 𝐒𝐬𝐊𝐃 Force Blue, Cad Bane, Tarkintown, the standard, and this is Rio Durgent, or Rio Yellow. Okay, very interesting choice, but we have 2 showcases, and I had 2 showcases. My thought process for doing this one, I was going to try to do triple showcase, and I actually have someone in my locals who has a Rose showcase, and I was half tempted just to buy it from them so that I could have done a trilogy deck. All 3 of my trilogy decks had showcased leaders, and that would have been actually funny because then I had all the bling, all the money. Reckoning I bought both of these. Reckoning then I would have said I bought all 3 of the leaders. I did not pull one of them. I bought I bought these 2 at Valkyrie Vault as well. The Peitt and the Luke, which again, like I said, the Luke face on his showcase is just kind of uncanny. He looks so much better in his normal card art. But anyways, for mine, I have Peitt Red, Luke Data Vault, and then Rose Yellow. We already checked out this Rose Yellow. That is pinging right now in YouTube for you all. If you guys are curious about it, we actually checked it out. I had a lot of fun with this Rose Yellow. 100% really just fun. It could slip in those games and kind of be a dangerous deck. So, with that said, let's see what we're going to both be deciding on what we're going to ban. Now, we don't have to talk about this one. I actually know this one. So, we're not going to show the banning. I ban 𝐒𝐬𝐃 Force Blue. I do not want to play 𝐒𝐬𝐃. I don't like 𝐒𝐬𝐃 at all. I played enough of 𝐒𝐬𝐃, a lot of 𝐒𝐬𝐃 before this event, and I really just don't want to play against it. And my opponent decides to ban Luke Data Vault. I don't think I played Luke Data Vault for this entire event. So I built him. I believe he's my best deck out of all 3 of them. And so no one gave me Luke Data Vault. I unfortunately did not get to walk away. Some reason I thought I was X1. I don't know. I thought I lost in round 2. I may not be. I can't remember. I can't remember if I'm undefeated or X1 at this event. It doesn't really matter. You didn't come here to figure out my score for this event overall. But yeah, no one let me play with Luke Data Vault at all. So, that was fun. But anyways, so our decks for each side of the thing, we had Cad, Tarkintown, Rio Yellow, and then over here we have Peitt Red and Rose Yellow. So let's jump into game number 1. Here we are, folks, for game number 1. Before we jump into the game, let's discuss our 2 decks. Rio Durgent, of course, a card from JTL, and I do not dismiss you all if you have no idea what Rio Durgent does. Rio Durgent states on his front side, pay 1, tap him, attack with a space unit, it gets +1 and gains Saboteur for the attack. He flips over for 5. He's a 3/5 with Saboteur on his unit side, or you can attach him to a vehicle. He gives the vehicle +3/+5. Attached unit is a leader unit. It gains Saboteur. If it's a transport, also gains +1. So you get Saboteur while you're attached to a vehicle, and if you're a transport, you get a +1 there. So basically your whole stick, you're swinging with your vehicle units, giving them +1 and Saboteur, and then attaching yourself to a transport so that you can become a Saboteur transport and getting the extra +1. So basically the name of the game, it's a double yellow space deck. That's the name of the game, folks. Swing with your space units. And then over here, we're playing Rose Yellow. Rose's whole stick is that you're going to be playing vehicles and then using Rose's effect as action. When a vehicle attacks that turn, you can heal 2 damage from that vehicle. She flips for 5. I believe she flips for 5. I think she can flip I think she has to flip 1 more. I think she flips at 6. And then on attack, you can heal 2 damage from a vehicle. So the whole stick of this is that you've got vehicles, You swing your vehicles into your opponent's stuff, you heal it, and then, or if you get lucky, you can get the Page Rose combo, Page 𝐒𝐿𝐾 plus Rose 𝐒𝐾 combo, where you go Page 𝐒𝐾 under one of your vehicles. Every time the unit Page 𝐒𝐾 is attached to swings, it deals 1 damage to itself, and then gets an XP. So the whole stick here is that then you would swing that vehicle, take the damage, get the XP, then you would tap Rose to heal the damage off of that vehicle, so that way you can then continue to heal that vehicle. So that's the combo line you typically want to. But other than that, Rose is just also a vehicle beatdown strategy. So we have a space vehicle beatdown strategy against Rose, basically every vehicle beatdown strategy. You can play in the ground or in the sky. So it's vehicle beatdowns, everybody. Let's play some vehicle beatdown. Let's see who will get it in game number 1. So anyways, here we go. The 𝐒𝐿𝐾𝐃 side will be starting us off here. They're going to go for a Republic Y-Wing under the sky. We're going to go for the Fireball. Fireball to immediately kill off the Y-Wing, taking 1 damage back. I will take 1 damage from the Fireball's effect when it is when it restands on the regrouping phase because of its own effect. It basically blows itself up. It is Kaz's, of course, flagship as well. So anyways, we're going to then tap 1. So basically the X-Wing, we are then getting the so I took the initiative there. I'm not sure why I didn't flip mine, but anyways, I'm going to go for, I believe, the Page 𝐒𝐾 under that, I believe that's the only pilot I'm running, or I think Hera. Anyways, we're going to go for the contracted. Ooh, unfortunately, that will automatically kill me off. I believe that is a Page 𝐒𝐾 as well. So, yep, that was a Page. I was going to get the combo off. So what happens there is that because the Fireball, yes, deals 1 damage to itself, Page buffing up the Fireball every single turn, and then I had the Rose there to swing it, but unfortunately, Constructed Jump Master immediately removed me from having to worry about that one. So anyways, we're going to go for the Perimeter ATRT. We're going to have the TIE Fighters swing in the damage here. Then we're immediately going to go for the Mandalorian's flagship, which I'm now blanking on. But anyways, that is the Mandalorian's flagship there as well. So typically a good combo you could do is Page 𝐒𝐾 under the Fireball. Then the Fireball, even though it damages itself because Rose constantly gives you experience tokens, you can make that Fireball humongous, and then your opponent has to come and kill it. And because, again, the Rose effect of healing yourself, we're going to go for a New Adventure. Then a New Adventure allows me to immediately play the unit for free. So that's just mainly moving the upgrade from the Hera upgrade and forcing me back to have it back to just rested here, which is not very nice here. We're immediately going to go for the Dilapidated Ski Speeder to deal 3 damage to another unit that you could throw Page under, which makes it even bigger. Then we're going to go for 𝐒𝐿𝐾𝐃 under the Mandalorian ship, and immediately bounce back the ship. Oh, we both flip on 5. For some reason, I totally forgot. Anyways, then 𝐒𝐿𝐾𝐃 is going to swing in, giving that +1 because the Mandalorian ship is the Razor Crest. That's a name. Oh my gosh, it finally hit me. The Razor Crest. So anyways, the Razor Crest is a transport, so that does mean that it does get the extra +1 on the attack here. So anyways, right now, we're basically seeing that Rio is just smashing me in the face with its Space Hate. Again, if I can't see good Space Hate cards, I'm just dead. As you can see here, I just got hit with the, of course, the shuttle as well. So the shuttle just stole my Dilapidated Ski Speeder, so I can't equip any pilots to it or anything like that. Because again, Rose on swing did heal out back too. We're going to go for the Black Squadron Escort Wing, and then Scout Wing, and then that's going to be coming down to the board. And then we're going to, Rio is going to smash me in the face here, and then we're going to swing 4 damage at the base. But again, there's nothing really much we could do. We're going to go for the Boba under the fighter, then deal 2 damage on the ability. Or so actually, we're going to do 2 damage to the Scout Wing there, because again, Rose is already swung, so we can just basically not. So my opponent doesn't have to worry about me healing that. And then we're just going to swing into the base, and then we're going to go for the Mandalorian under the TIE Fighter, and then that will be basically game there, because there's no way for me to absolutely win this game. So I'm just going to scoop this one up, and then Rio Yellow is going to take game number 1 over my Page Yellow. So that means we have to go to that all-important game number 2, where I can either swap to Peitt Red or stay with Rose Yellow, but my opponent has to go to CAD Tarkintown. Welcome everyone to game number 2. I have decided to stick with the Rose Yellow before going to Peitt Red. Trying to win out with Rose Yellow, then go to Peitt Red as my last stand, as our opponent, again, like I said, has to now swap over to CAD Tarkintown. Once again, CAD's main states on his front side, when you play an underworld unit, tap him, your opponent then chooses to deal 1 damage to one of their units. He flips for 6, and then on his backside, once per turn, when you play an Underworld card, your opponent has to deal 2 damage to one of their units. And then Tarkintown states, epic action, you can deal 3 damage to a damaged non-leader unit. So the whole aspect of this is that you're just playing the really good cunning control cards, but you have a bunch of Underworld units so that you can smash your opponent's face in with all the Underworld. So let's jump into game number 2 and see if I can win with the rose yellow. But if you've seen the little line here, well, maybe it took that long to get through game 2, or maybe we got a game 3. So anyways, besides that, let's go down. We're going to go put out a Restored Arc 170 into the sky. We're going to go for the Bazeem to show Cunning, the Millennium Falcon, and the Mandalorian. We're just going to pitch out the Cunning there immediately, and then dealing 1 damage thanks to the Bazeem having the Underworld tag on it. We're going to go for Tarkintown to immediately remove the Arc 170 off of the board, which again is really nice. It means it sets me back an entire turn of plays I could do, which is really, really good. I know a lot of people debate on when to use Tarkintown, when not to use Tarkintown, as we play out the Millennium Falcon here, as Bazeem deals me 1 damage at my base. And then we're immediately going to go for, of course, the TIE Silencer. That does not have the Underworld tag on it, so it does not, Cad Bane cannot tap himself to hit me in the face. So my opponent did try to use the CAD effect there, but I pointed out to them that the TIE Silencer does not have the Underworld tag. It actually only has an Imperial ship. I know it has the Imperial tag. So we're going to go for the Mandalorian to immediately rest down the TIE Phantom, so I don't have to worry about that raid 2 that swings on the floor. And by the way, cannot be damaged by card effects, cannot be stolen by your opponent, and cannot be destroyed by card effects as well. So it's really nice. So anyways, we're immediately going to go for Enticing Reward to immediately put that under the TIE Phantom. So my Millennium Falcon is now gone, right under the good old TIE Phantom here. And so now I gotta kind of think what I actually want to do here, because I burned all my resources playing out the I only paid 2 to play out the Mandalorian, but now I have to deal with that 4, that attacking 4 from that TIE Phantom into the sky here. Because again, Enticing Reward, one of your cards steals one of your opponent's cards. So yeah, it's really fun. So anyways, we're gonna flip over Rose here immediately just to have the Rose. To immediately have the Rose again. I get to flip on 5. Cad has to flip on 6, so I don't have to worry about Cad flipping just yet here. I'm kind of thinking about what I really want to do here. Anyways, McClunky to spin back some on the spin back. Bazeem, and then because McClunky's Underworld card, tapping Cad to deal 1 damage. We're gonna go for the we're gonna go for 4-Lom to crash into Rose, killing off 4-Lom and Rose here. But again, now the problem is I burned my Rose, but again, I was kind of seeing what I could bait into. Maybe it would have been better to wait on the Rose. But again, I didn't want to get hit with a medium amount of clunky on my stuff. So anyways, I'm going to go for an R2-D2. We're going to swing over the how do I put an R2-D2 and swing? Oh, right. So that's how I do it. So basically, when you put a pad under the Black Squadron Scout Wing, you immediately get to attack, and then you get an additional plus. So anyways, we got Manchin Rogue down on the ground here. We're going to go for Rose's effect to heal the 2 damage off of the Black Squadron. So anyways, Cad is going to immediately be able to kill off the Scout Walker thanks to that extra, thanks to the fact of that raid onto it. I'm only I believe, really weak on that Walker. So Cad has no real reason, not mentioning all that. So anyways, I did get my Falcon back from the Phantom, which is pretty nice here. Machin Road, oh right, no, I forgot. Machin Road doubles the raid on Cad, because I'm like, that's a 3-5. Cad shouldn't have been able to kill it. But I just remembered, right. Now I'm breaking the rules over there. I'm breaking the rules on the unique rules with 2 R2-D2s under my guy. So anyways, I'm going to put a independent smuggler under that Millennium Falcon to give it a buff. So now I'm breaking the rules of the uniqueness, because again, the uniqueness states that you can only have 1 of each unique unit on the board. So that R2-D2 should have been killed off of my Black Squadron X-Wing. So yeah, that whoops. Anyways, I just remembered that Machin Road doubles all raids from all raids. So Cad does actually have a raid 4 on his front side. So we go Bazeem. I have no hand, so my opponent cannot discard anything from it, but just putting more bodies down the board is just really good here, because I am going to be able to continue swinging. Then we're going to go see a Zuckuss in the thing here. I did get the page as well here, so I can go page under, I think it's whenever one time it's upgraded. So I did get my page. I did get all that. I could put the page on the Falcon. I can survive one attack here. And that's my thing. I could survive one attack. So I do get the to go here. So I am kind of deciding what I want to do here. I will ultimately decide to go 𝐂𝐻𝐾 under the Millennium Falcon, the Falcon to get the buff, and then I'll ping 1 damage onto the Falcon, and then be able to immediately get that extra damage here. So we are going to go for the page under the Falcon. Under the Falcon there to allow me to get the So yeah, I cheated it, but I think I could have still done it a different way. I could have easily still swung this first into this, and then I could have attached the R2 here, killed that off, then the uniqueness would kill off there, because again, I can have 2 of the exact same unit here. These are the exact same R2D2s. So that would then killed out this R2, which would have given him on the Falcon. Then I could have put the independent smuggler. And then I had Page here, which gives me everything I need because I can swing. The Falcon gives me a +1 for each pilot on it. Falcon can carry 2 pilots on it, and then R2 is basically can put a pilot on himself, and you get extra pilot as well. So that's how the Falcon get up to 3 pilots on it. So I'm already getting a +3 on the Falcon for having 3 pilots. Then you get the +1 from R2. You get the +2 from the smuggler, and then I get the raid. And then, or maybe that's not a smuggler. I can't remember. But nonetheless, I get a +2 from this. I believe that is the independent smuggler. And then 𝐂𝐻𝐾 gets a +2/+2. But then I also could deal 1 damage to this. And then basically I have a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then an extra experience token right there. So yeah, this Falcon was going to kill him either way. So that does win me the game here. I think I can still have one even with doing this upgrade pathway. It's just a little weird that I totally forgot the uniqueness rule. We both actually totally forgot it, but nonetheless, oh well. Like I said, I think I would have still probably gotten the win even with this, because I would have swung this first and then attach, kill that one off, and then attach, and then I could have done all that, because it would have been the exact same damage when the exact same turn I would attach the R2s. But nonetheless, it is time to go to the all-important game number 3. Folks, welcome to game number 3, the final game of round 3. We still got 𝐒𝐻𝐾 Tarkintown facing off against Peitt Red, which we already checked out as well. That will ping in YouTube for you all as well. This is the Peitt Red that's all about Droid Swarm, where you're going to play stuff like the Invisible Hand to search for your droids, play your droids out on the board, and then just kind of go crazy with all your droids. Am I sold on this Peitt? No. Should I have probably played like Peitt Blue for control? Yeah, I should have, but I already had like blue Page, Rose yellow, and Rose is already blue, and I was actually using a lot of my really good blue cards in Rose, so I didn't know what to really do for all of Peitt. So I decided I'll give Peitt Red a try. It's basically the exact same flavor. It's still Peitt. You're just using droids, and you're using the evasion control ship to give all your droids raid 2. So that's basically what you're doing. It's still just spam big capital class vessels into the sky and go from there. So with that said, it is time to see who will claim victory, me or my opponent. All right, here we go, folks. Anyways, we're both just finishing up our resourcing, as we're going to go for a good old Aura Sing here. So I'm kind of deciding what I want to do against that Aura Sing. So I'm going to go for immediately a Force Choke, killing off the Aura Sing, and my opponent does get to draw 1 off of the Force Choke there. Maybe it wouldn't really been worth it for the Aura Sing, but the Aura Sing does have raid 2 and immediately can start hitting me for 3 damage here. There was also one thing, maybe I should have not played Peitt Red in this event, because again, all my open fires were actually in Luke Skywalker instead of in Peitt, which I think Peitt really needed those open fires throughout this entire game here. As we have the Manchin, as we have the Nim Marauder coming down with his raid 3, allowing him to swing for 4 damage. So nonetheless, I got hit with 3 or 4 damage. Maybe this would have been the better one to hit with that with the Force Choke. As we see now, the 4 damages. I have the OOM officer coming down, and then I'm going to put in the Hyena because I control another Separatist. So the Vanguard droid bomber comes in, dealing 2 damage to my opponent's base because I control another Separatist unit onto the board. So that's pretty nice. And then we're going to go for, of course, another Mill Marauder, tapping the CAD and then doing 2 damage. And then I'm going to take the damage on the OM officer, killing it off. And then we're going to go for the Psychochemistry And then that's going to mainly allow them to add a guy that shares a trait with one of the guys that you have on your field. So they looked up, they got a 𝐒𝐬𝐀𝐘 into their hand. So if they have the 4-LOM 𝐒𝐬𝐀𝐘 combo, that is going to be quite nasty for me to deal with. I do have plenty of big capital class vessels in hand. Just not a lot else I can really do with all those capitals. So anyways, we're going to sing the bomber into the base here. I'm going to take another 4 on my body. We're going to go for another first stroke to knock out the other Marauder, just so I don't have to deal with it. And then we're going to have the 𝐒𝐬𝐾s come down 1 damage onto the bomber. We're going to flip up Peitt here, and we're going to swing 2 damage at Peitt. Lucky enough, nothing on this board can kill me. And then we're going to be able to pay the 4 here to bring out the how the heck did I play all? Oh, right, no, Peitt reduces the cost of the back by 2. I was like, how the heck? My math isn't mathing there. But no, yeah, I brought up Peitt so then I can reduce the cost of the MC30 by 2, so it comes out for 3, so I can play it all on my 5th turn. I do have the invisible hand right now in my hand, so we're going to go for a surprise strike to then kill off, of course, Peitt there, because again, it automatically does 4, plus another 3 is automatically 7. So we're going to go for the invisible hand because we have all 6. We're going to look at the top 8, I believe, cards here. And then we could play a droid. We got a droid if it's a droid with a if it's a 2 or less cost droid, and we can play it for free and then put it down the board. We're just going to go for the probe droid here. Play that one. Then we're going to tap a bunch. We're going to go and bring out a good old 4-LOM, which does mean that 𝐒𝐬𝐾s now has ambush. So we're going to ambush into the probe droid, then we're going to ping 1, and then we could do 1 damage to something on the board. We're going to swing 2 at the base with, of course, the hyena here. My opponent, I don't know why, hasn't yet triggered Tarkintown. They do have the ability to do it. So anyways, we're going to then swing in the MC30, then we're going to awaken 𝐒𝐻𝐾 to swing in as well. Looks like the game is pretty close, but it definitely is in the favor of my opponent because I am right now on 7 resources, and there's nothing in my hand that can actually out, and I have no way to out the board, the ground here. So I honestly think I should have played blue instead of red. So anyways, I'm going to go for the Devastator to kill off 4-LOM, and then I'm going to actually kill off the remaining damage on 4-LOM, and then 1 more damage over at the no Marauder. Again, it's not going to be impactful here because then we have Cad Bane. Cad Bane can steal here. So anyways, we're going to deal the 2 damage onto so for some odd reason, I'm going to say this, for some odd reason, I thought that was indirect damage. So I originally put it on the Vanguard here, and then for some odd reason, I thought the damage was 1 and 1. That is not the case here. The case here should have been just 2 straight damage to 1 thing. It should have just killed off the hyena or the Vanguard droid bomber, and then I could have still had the invisible hand and the MC30 perfectly fine. So I could have easily had him steal the MC30 for the turn, or I could have put it onto the Devastator to do that. But again, there's nothing I can really do here. The ground has just gotten out of hand here. And yeah, I just pointed out there's no way for me to control the ground. So again, I think Peitt Blue might have been able to deal with it because I would have had like Power to Dark Side and Super Laser Blast and all of that. I thought about doing Peitt Colossus for the event as well, but I don't know. I wanted to try out Peitt Red. I think honestly, maybe I should have done Peitt. Maybe I should have done Peitt Colossus instead of Peitt Red. But nonetheless, it was a really good game. Yeah, it was a pretty good game overall. A good game. Besides, of course, game 2, I blatantly cheated, and neither of us saw it. Neither of us saw the blatant cheat of R2D2. But again, like I said, I don't think it would have changed much of the outcome of the game because I could have still done the other pathway if I really thought about it. But nonetheless, I want your guys' thoughts down in the comments below on this Trilogy match. Let me know if you guys ever tried out Trilogy. What are some of your favorite decks you've played in Trilogy? What are your thoughts on everything for Trilogy? What are your thoughts on the banning for Trilogy? What are your thoughts on the deck building for Trilogy? Let me know all that down in the comments. And let me know as well if you saw anything else in the games you want to point out to me or my opponent. Any other blatant cheats I did as well. And while you're commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you get notified when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mom Dragons TCG.